Well, hello everyone. Today we have Lou Corona, a very special guest, and we're actually neighbors, so I decided what a better idea to just come over here and do a live interview. So thank you for being here.
Welcome.
My
honor.
Thank you. So I want to introduce Lou, give a little introduction here. So Lou's story goes way back. Actually, he grew up out here in Orange County, California. And Lou grew up with the standard American diet, just, typical fast food, not well, just eating and processed foods. And it was just part of the culture. And after a while, that's what was normal for him. And he became very ill. But first, actually, you went to the Air Force. You went to the Air Force. It was at the Air Force where his health really caught up to him and he was not well. And actually his digestive system was so off. I think it would take you like 3 weeks to have a bowel movement. He was just so backed up and constipated. And
I went in fine and I was able to go to the bathroom a couple of times a day normally. But after I went in there, for whatever reason, I went through boot camp with flying colors, but afterwards, within a few months, I noticed going from to the bathroom like twice a day to once every 3 days, and then once a week, and then once every 2 weeks, and it just got worse. But that's when my body became toxic.
Okay.
And that's when I ended up with that big tumor behind my head.
Sorry, go ahead, Lou.
Yeah. That's when I ended up with, the severe acne and chronic asthma, taking all these medications.
Followed by the severe constipation, and your gut was just not from all the terrible food.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? I wanted to know like all this pain in my joints and all this breathing issues. Before I was running a mile in 4.5 minutes, so it was a little bit confusing for me because I didn't smoke, drink, or take drugs. I was very athletic. I was really pretty much on top of it. I mean, I could do 4 minutes underwater. I could run 30 miles nonstop. But when I started crashing, I did wonder why is this happening to me? Where did all this come from? I just couldn't understand. So I'm one of those people who was so humbled by this experience and just bewildered by it. And I like my mom taught me, I surrendered to God Himself, and I asked, what is it that's causing these issues?
So you had a moment with God, and this was your moment, and you got a message.
I want to know solutions, and I also want to know how to live from now on, because whatever I was doing certainly wasn't working. Before I thought I was doing everything right. Mm-hmm. Isn't that interesting? Mm. I actually thought I was living a good life.
Because I felt good. Home cooked, maybe you thinking also of getting home cooked meals.
Yeah. My mom's a great cook, She made this wonderful Italian food, Mexican food, she made all kinds of stuff. But I got into the fast foods as a teenager, and I have to admit, that was starting to make me crash without realizing it. It was affecting me. But when I went in the Air Force, by that time it caught up with me. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I became chronically constipated, I became toxic, and I ended up with all these different issues. And I'm facing surgery, I'm taking medication after medication just to breathe. But when that day it came to me where I had this insight. Wait a minute, we were designed to be healthy and to be happy and to have a quality life everlastingly. Mm-hmm. That's what we were designed right from the beginning. And I got real clear about that. It was almost like God spoke to me in a moment. But when I had that insight, I asked for those 3 things: causes, solutions, and how to live.
Okay.
And I just knew that I needed to change, but I didn't know how to go about it. And you know what? I'm telling you, I actually experienced a presence right by me. And I was told to walk away from that hospital where I was in the Air Force. And I did. And that's when I woke up with this chronic asthma attack. I was suffocating. And I just said, God, either take me and I'll serve you in spirit forever, or show me. Mm-hmm. I'm ready. Whatever you choose to do with me, I'm good. But I knew I was never going back to where I came from, to that hospital. Wow. And I knew I was never taking that medication again. I either make it or break it. That was it. That was the breaking point for me. So, but beside that experience, this is when I felt this like this tingling warm sensation running through my body, and then all of a sudden my suffocating went away. and I had a total reflection of my whole life. I was covered by this bright light, and I was shown these 4 principles of life that I talk about. And I woke up the next day with it. I was so thankful to wake up the next day, and I knew he had a purpose for me.
Okay. These 4 principles came to you.
Yeah, and the thing is that I applied them, and within 6 months, the tumor dissolved, the acne went away, the chronic asthma, all the congestion, all the rashes and itching, and the pain in my joints, all these digestive issues, and during those 6 months, within 6 months, these like lots and lots of worms came out of my body. Black, rubbery, evil stuff came out of my body for months. Mm-hmm. But 6 months later, doing all this herbal work and breath work and hot cold applications and detox bathing and sweating and colonics and you know, I did extensive fastings, juice
fastings. Can you
fastings,
share the 4
water
principles?
fastings. The 4 principles I followed, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, but it all went away. But I discovered in the whole process of it all that the root causes of all sickness and diseases, and through my whole experience of it all, it's related to having this couple things. Okay. One of them was related to being disconnected with God, for one. Okay, this disconnection, we're running through life not knowing, not having this connection, we're vulnerable. And then another one was knowing how, you know, like if we struggle with what they call toxic thinking, like negative thinking, it can actually distort the cells of the body and lead to disease. Yes, and also what they call toxic negative emotions, you know, fear, anger, resentment, guilt, shame, grief.
Causes
judgment.
the illness.
It causes illness in the body, yes, because it distorts the cells of the body. And also, what you're eating and drinking, it either regenerates or degenerates you, right? But we need to have a distinction. We need to know what that is. Well, I've discovered what that is. And so as I began to understand how to connect with God closer and be closer to God, closer to nature, and I learned how to think in a more powerful, dynamic, constructive, positive way, and being very creative with my thoughts. And I also learned how to get clear and complete with past issues, because I came from a very abusive childhood. So as I learned how to get clear and complete with that, and learn how to really love and forgive and pray and anoint people with love and success in their life, you know, and having compassion for people that do these crazy things that they do to each other, you know.
Right.
But I learned how to do that. And I learned to really let go of the anger and the resentment and the condemnation towards these people. I learned to love them and forgive them and have compassion for them.
In other words, because that would be causing yourself your illness to have these feelings.
You know, it's funny how we point a finger towards other people. We've got three fingers pointed back at us, right?
Yeah.
So every time we're dishing out this negativity, this judging, criticizing, ridiculing, condemning, when we do that stuff, it's coming right back at us tenfold, you know, many times over, and it distorts us. But when I learned how to really love and forgive and all that, man, it freed me up. I'm telling you, I was happier than I've ever been. So when God embraced me the way He did, it transformed me. I went from hating life, being miserable, thinking life's against me, and you know, it was an ugly, miserable life beforehand, and not even caring if I lived another day. You know, it was pretty miserable. But when I had this experience, I shifted and I transformed, and I woke up loving life, appreciating life, and being grateful for it. And that's one of the secrets. Yeah. It really is.
So was fasting part of that?
Yes. So as I learned how to do the herbs and I shifted into, because I was led to enjoy the fresh fruits and the fresh herbs and, you know, the vegetables and all that, the salads and all that. But as I learned how to soak seeds and germinate seeds, but I also learned how to drink clean water, you know, pure, clean, structured, energized water.
All you eat are living foods, Lou, for those that don't know?
Oh, I've been doing that for 53 years.
So 53 years, Lou is only living raw foods. People you say raw foods, but Lou considers it living foods. Very different.
Very different, because it's all fresh fruits and fresh herbs, and the seeds are soaked and germinated All
It's
those,
activated.
it's enzyme activated. It's alive. It's a living food. I even make nut seed yogurts out of the nuts and seeds.
Can we tell them how old you are? How young you are? How young? Because you look so good.
I'm 74.
I mean, this is incredible. This is just proves.
But I've learned how to incorporate things that can help assist me even more. That's when within a few years, my friend turned me on to Dr. Edward Howell, the medical doctor scientist who discovered these long living people, 120 plus years. He studied them for 50 years, but he found out that the secret behind why they live so long and never get sick is because they're living on enzyme-rich, plant-based, organic, living foods.
Living foods, real food.
They sow seeds, they germinate seeds. They also make yogurt or cultured foods and all that, out of vegetables, out of seeds. I mean, I've learned to do that. I've been doing that for 53 years. So within a few years, when I learned about the organic soil across the board is running 30 to 80% enzyme and mineral deficiencies, I got heavy into incorporating powerful plant enzymes that I started taking, right?
Okay.
And I noticed as I took them with my meals and all that, even though it was all plant-based, organic, raw living foods, I was already healed. I already felt great, better than I ever felt. But when I started ingesting these powerful enzymes, I noticed I was digesting even better. I was absorbing, metabolizing better, eliminating better. And that's one of the other root causes of sickness and disease, is people are not digesting properly. Everybody that has any sickness or diseases of any kind.
Yeah, because this is what it is, self-healed disease. People here are not well, Lou.
Oh, let me tell you. Because I've been traveling all over the world, helping people, assisting people, and just coaching them how to cleanse, how to heal, regenerate themselves like I did. Because there's some people out there that want to know how to do it, kind of like what I did, right? So we get together and I show them step by step how to do all that. If they really want to know that, I'm pretty masterful at it because I went through the whole process myself. I fasted on water and juices for 100 days. I did the watermelon thing for 45 days, and this wicked stuff came out of my body in those 45 days.
Wow.
But when I did a 40-day water fast, by the time I got down to 6 months, when I finished that 40-day water fast, the tumor was gone.
Wow.
The acne was gone. Severe acne was gone. The chronic asthma, the congestion, all these digestive issues I had going on, gone.
So you didn't have to take any medications. It wasn't even about. It was just your own body.
I learned how to do breath work. I learned how to drink clean water. I learned how to juice and do like my lemon ginger blast.
Lemon ginger blast, delicious.
Mine has lemon, apple, ginger, turmeric, habanero, cucumber, celery, parsley, cilantro, mint, black elk.
I make it because of you. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what it has in it. But I love that drink.
The famous lemon ginger blast by Lou Corona. This is the man who brought this forward.
I've been drinking that drink for 53 years.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Makes me feel so good.
It oxygenates you, alkalinizes you,
green juice, baby. Green juice,
detox, energizes, neutralizes free radicals. I mean, it's an amazing drink. It's crazy amazing.
Can we see it for the people that don't understand why we eat living foods and why we only consume living foods? What's with cooked foods? Just so people know, because a lot of people here actually they don't not really understand the living food, raw food. So what is it about cooked foods?
Well, I like to use the analogy like the sweet yam potato as an example. Most people take a sweet yam potato just like I did when I was a kid. My mom would bake that potato, sweet yam potato, take it out of the oven, nice and warm, and then she'd doctor it up and put sweeten it up, throw a little cinnamon to it, And but I would eat it, right? And I loved it. I really enjoyed it, right? But think about this for a second. Take a sweet yam potato that you normally bake and eat, right? Take that sweet yam potato, instead of eating it, put it in the ground, cover it up, and put a little water to it. What do you think is going to happen to it? If it's baked and cooked and put in the ground and you put a little water to it.
Nothing. It's dead.
It's dead. Exactly. It's dead. So what will it do in the ground? It just rots it.
I don't want that in my body then.
It rots and decomposes, right? But it doesn't have no life in it, right? But if you take a raw sweet potato and put it in the ground with water, what do you think happens then?
It's going to activate the soil. It's going to kind of like be like a fertilizer, kind of.
The first one will rot. The cooked one will rot and decompose and become fertilizer, right?
Right.
But the one that's raw and you put that in the ground,
right?
Once it goes in the ground, it's moistened a little bit. It actually sprouts, and it produces more potatoes from one potato ongoingly. It gives life.
It's giving life.
It gives life.
It's life force.
Exactly.
So we eat life force every day.
So when I take a sweet potato, I either juice it and drink it like that, like you do carrot juice or beet juice or green juice, juice it up, or sometimes I grate it into a salad, or sometimes I spiralize it and I make an almond coconut yogurt curry sauce for it, and I put it and mix it all up, and I cut it up, and people eat it and they go, wow, this is great. They love it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, I've been doing that with fruits and vegetables and herbs and roots, and I've learned how to eat raw living foods and put life in, get life out. It's that simple.
Yeah.
But if you take something cooked, it's dead. There is no life in it. You see, when I got wind of a deeper understanding, when you put something cooked in your body, it's dead. The enzyme activity, the life force in it is gone. Okay? So when it goes inside your body, yeah, your body does have enzymes to digest it. But the thing of it is what they found out was, scientifically, they've proven that your body will use more of its own enzymes to digest that food more than it remanufactures. So you end up using up your enzyme potential.
Depleting your body.
You're depleting your enzyme potential. Life force is dropping. So the quicker you use up your enzyme activity, the enzyme potential, the enzyme life force in your body, the quicker you use that up, you start aging and having sickness and illness. Dr. Edward Howell proved it scientifically, year after year after year. He checked out thousands and thousands of people. So when he discovered that when people become protease enzyme deficient, which is an enzyme that breaks down proteins into amino acids, when you become deficient in that particular enzyme, you cannot break down those proteins, those cooked dead proteins, whether you're plant-based or animal-based diet.
If it's cooked?
If it's cooked, and if you use up your protease enzyme in your body...
Protease enzymes, okay.
So protease, the enzyme, breaks down proteins to amino acids. So I'm just saying, once you become deficient in it, and you're not taking powerful enzymes to compensate for that, then your body doesn't have the ability any longer to digest all of it. So it's only digested part of it, but not all of it. So you start accumulating undigested proteins. It's the same thing with fats. You start accumulating undigested fats due to an amylase enzyme deficiency. You start accumulating like undigested carbohydrates due to an amylase enzyme deficiency.
Understand.
Right? But here's the thing. If you start accumulating undigested proteins, carbs, and fats, they putrefy, ferment, and acidify in the body. It turns into toxic waste in the body.
And then what happens to that?
That attracts parasites and bacteria and yeast and so on.
This is real.
It's real. It's very real.
Very real.
You know why I know that so well? Because I lived it. I experienced it. Because I had this accumulation of undigested proteins, carbs, and fats in my body, putrefying, fermenting, acidifying in my body. So when I started, attracting these parasites and bacteria and so on, and yeast and all that, I started developing the tumors and the acne and allergies and this and that and everything else, which is one of the root causes of sickness and disease, the toxic body.
Actually, it causes also the C word, which we're not really supposed to say,
well,
but it can cause the C word.
Listen, there's all kinds of names for sickness and diseases.
That's right.
There's only one disease.
Right.
It's called toxemia.
Toxemia.
Right? That's
so
line.
true. All these things are labels and labels. What's going on is the toxemia.
Toxemia. So that's why I say toxic thinking, toxic emotions, toxic body, toxic environment. But one of the things that we need to master, besides, learn to think in a more powerful, positive, constructive, creative way, and learn how to get clear and complete with past issues, and really learn how to love this life and be grateful for this life and really appreciate each moment, right? But when it comes to the eating part, let's put life in. We're designed to eat plants. So let's put these plants, all the nuts and seeds and plants have proteins, carbs, and fats. Look at the gorilla. The guy never works out, but yet he's like 800 pounds of muscle, can pull out trees out of the ground with his hands. I mean, the guy he's a plant-based eating animal, and look how powerful he is. You look at all these animals out there in the wild, they eat plants. Most of them out there eat plants.
And what happens with an overaccumulation of protein like meats and you're getting into dairy and animal products? What is dangerous about that, Lou?
Well, first of all, we're not designed to take animal products into our body. And, I've been living plant-based, organic, raw living foods for 53 years.
Right.
And
okay.
And if I show you a couple flips or a couple planks or whatever, you'll see the energy.
You get your protein enough.
I got plenty of protein. But here's the secret to it. When you understand that all nuts and seeds have proteins, carbs, and fats in them. The question is, how do you get them into your body? See, all proteins, carbs, and fats, whether it's plant-based or animal-based, it has to be broke down into micronutrients. Like the proteins have to be broke down into amino acids. Those are your building blocks. That's what builds muscle, hair, skin, bones, manufactures enzymes and hormones in your body. Your fats need to be broken down to fatty acids so they can be bioavailable to your cells. So that way you can create myelin sheath around all the nerves throughout your body, have nice, supple, healthy skin, healthy hair, shiny hair. You need to have good fatty acids for all that.
Right.
But you need to break it down into fatty acids. Carbohydrates, you need to break down into glucose so it can give you lots of energy, right? But here's the thing. The big question is, do you have enough enzymes in your body to digest all of that if in the cooked form? Your body's going to use more of its own to digest it more than it remanufactures. It doesn't come from thin air. If you destroy the life in your food and you put it inside your body, it's going to gradually, slowly strip and borrow from your own body to digest that food into micronutrients so you can use it. So the secret behind this thing is we need to digest.
Right.
How do you do that?
Well,
so how do you digest your food? How do you break it all down into micronutrients? So the question is, are you going to let your body try to do all the work? Or are you going to be wise enough to take that fresh fruit, that fresh root, or herb, or vegetable, or whatever, and learn, or those seeds or nuts, and learn how to work with them. Learn how to juice them up, or how to cut them up, and combine them, or grate them into your food, or whatever. But when it comes to seeds and nuts, we need to learn how to, understand it's really important. So, one of the secrets behind all this is learn how to soak them in water and release the enzyme inhibitors and the acids from them so they can germinate. And if they don't germinate because they've been taken out of their shell, you can at least culturize them, like I do. I've been making almond coconut yogurt for umpteen years. I've been making macadamia yogurt, Brazil nut yogurt, pine nut yogurt. I even make rice yogurt. I make chia seed yogurt. I make all kinds of yogurts, pumpkin seed yogurt. But here's the secret behind that. When you soak it and germinate it, or at least culturize it, and enzyme activate it, right, and pre-digest it, that's the beauty of it. It's pre-digested. So all those proteins, carbs, and fats are basically pre-digested by culturizing. So now the amino acids, the fatty acids, and the glucose is bioavailable to your cells. And it builds strong, lean muscle, hair, skin, and bones. I've been doing it for 53 years.
You're utilizing all of it, where some people say, well, if you're plant-based or vegan, you're not getting healthy fats. Well, because you're not utilizing it properly.
That's right, because the majority of people that go plant-based, most of them are eating cooked food. And they're stripping their enzymes from their body.
Yeah.
They're decreasing their enzyme potential. Because every time you eat cooked food, dead food, your body will use more of its own to process it, to digest it, to get the most out of it, so you can survive.
Right.
But the problem with that is you end up using more than you remanufacture within the body, which causes a depletion, little bit at a time. And before you know it, you start aging, you start falling apart. My last mentor, I'm telling you, he lived this way for umpteen years, even longer than me. And when I met him, I thought he was 42. He was 75. I'm 74, and I feel amazing, but this guy was something else.
Wow.
Something else.
That's incredible.
But for me, he was a confirmation. He was one of those people that validated this lifestyle for me. He validated it, he confirmed it, because he was proof. He looked youthful and young and strong. And
I know once I started started just living foods, I healed myself different, but I healed myself, more raw foods. I can never go back because I just know the good life of having real food.
You know how you said,
I can never go back.
I can never go back. Listen to this. I have no desire to go back.
Yeah, it's too good on this side.
In fact, I feel so amazing and so great that I feel like I'm just getting started in life, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Love that.
But if somebody was to offer me $1 billion to eat a plate of vegan cooked food, I would say, offer it to somebody else, please, because I'm not your person.
Right.
I don't need $1 billion to eat a plate of cooked food.
Yeah.
See, see, once you get clear about what I'm saying here, when you make a clan iron decision that you want to cleanse, heal, regenerate every cell in your body and be youthful and radiant and strong and vibrant and have abundance of energy and take your life to the wire and live your life abundant and live as long as possible and live forever for that matter if you want. But my point is, I've already made that decision, so I stand by that. And I live by that. You see what I mean?
You're my inspiration. Seriously.
When He showed me how to live this way, and I did what He said, I got well. So I just kept doing it. Out of love, out of respect, out of honor, out of appreciation for my life.
You've been committed to this lifestyle for many, many years.
53 years.
You've been committed.
But it's because God gave it to me, and I promised I would incorporate it and live and do what He showed me. And I would do my best to share it and to let the world know about it so they can have a good life, a great life, as I've had. You know
yes, because they can.
Because that's why I'm doing this with you right now in front of whoever listens to this. I pray deep in my heart that you will have the eyes to see what's going on here and have the ears to hear it and the heart to pick up on it and somehow be inspired enough to shift in your consciousness and adopt these things, adopt these teachings, these 4 principles. You read one of the 4 principles like in a nutshell?
Yes, please.
Okay.
One of the 4 principles.
It's just a quick overview, okay?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, just
I'm not going to go deep.
And then we want to show you guys, because I want to show them about enzymes, the power of enzymes, because enzymes are life.
It'd be a very powerful thing
enzymes
for
are
them to
why
see.
I'm raw, because I get my enzymes. But there's a way to utilize it and break them down. But
Even further.
So, yeah, the 4 principles, Lou.
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet.
I'm not going to go too deep.
Right.
But, okay, so the first one, I put them in categories.
Okay.
And I name them cellular, because we are made up of over 35 trillion cells that make up our body, right? So the first one I call cellular communication because literally every thought that you have, every cell picks up on it.
Okay. Yeah.
That's why when you learn to be powerful in your choices and you're thinking positive, constructive, creative thoughts, every cell picks up on that and they make them happy, right? When you, if you're thinking negative and destructive, that's what happens to the cells. They become negative and destructive. And it actually distorts the cells. It really does. It affects them in a negative way. So cellular communication is about how you communicate mentally, how you communicate with God, how you communicate with your emotions. Like when I communicate with my emotions, hopefully you can sense my love and compassion for you and for everyone that may ever hear this conversation. But loving and respecting and honoring and appreciating this life, right? But whatever you eat and drink, whatever you choose to do with that, it either regenerates or degenerates you, right? It's your choice.
It's your choice, yeah.
But every cell picks up on it. So if you're putting dead food inside your body, that's what it does to the body. That's what it does to the cells of the body. It just
can't do anything with it. It's dead.
Mm-hmm. It takes more out of you. It actually slowly decreases the health of the body, and it just falters it. It causes all kinds of issues. And because everybody I've seen that have shifted into these 4 principles, they all seem to get well. Interesting enough, So the first principle is the most powerful one because this is the one where you tap into recognizing
cellular connection.
The cellular connection, like when you actually acknowledge and recognize that we are these beautiful, spiritual, incredible, brilliant, and genius creative beings that have this inner potential to create all kinds of possibilities in His likeness.
Yeah.
We are that. We're capable of that. That's why as soon as I got wind of that when I was in this experience I had, I woke up with it. And I was able to acknowledge it and accept it. And hopefully you will too, who's listening to this. But check this out. Once I caught on to it, I made a decision to live. And I made a decision to cleanse and heal and regenerate. I made a choice to to be youthful and radiant and strong and vibrant with abundance of energy, good strength, feel great, and be happy, and live a fulfilling...
Live your fullest.
Live up to my potential, right? Let's live up to our potential. Keep evolving, keep growing, keep learning. Just keep doing that while we're here, and do the best we can to help as many as you can everywhere you go, and keep reminding everybody wherever you go how beautiful they are, how incredible they are, and how much potential we have. We are so capable of so much more than we're thinking. So anyway, how you communicate with your body, how you communicate with animals, how you communicate with the plants, how you communicate with your family, your friends, and whoever you communicate with, from one human to another, or whatever the case. Your way of communicating can make and break us as people. Some people speak very positive and loving and caring, and it's very fulfilling to be around people like that, right?
Yeah.
But some people that do it the opposite,
it's not fun.
That's why they say
you can feel it.
That's why they say the words you choose can either make and break you and people around you. You know what I mean? Well, the second principle is about cellular environment. That's the one where that's when you learn how to embrace the sun. That's when you learn how to breathe slow and deep. That's when you learn how to drink clean, pure alkaline structure, energized water, and hydrate your body, and blah, blah, blah. That's when you learn how to ground yourself. Cellular environment.
Okay.
So we need to know that.
The environment, yeah.
Yes, it's very important.
And water, good water.
And clean your body with clean products that are plant-based, clean products that don't have chemicals. No toxic chemicals.
Free environment. Okay.
Right. We need to be smart about that. And then the third one's about cellular exercise. So when I tell people I haven't worked out at the gym for 55 years since high school in 1970 when I graduated, I just mean I haven't worked out at the gym for 55 years. But what I have been doing is cellular exercise. So I do breath work, I do stretching throughout the day, I do rebounding, on trampoline, we jump up and down.
Okay.
I'll do the hot cold applications where I go into the cold plunge ice water, 5-10 minutes, and then I jump in the sauna and break sweat, and then jump in the ice water, go back and forth. Plus I occasionally do body work, when they do body work on me, walk on me, break me all up and all that. Like acupressure, deep tissue therapy.
Flowing.
Yeah, keep everything flowing and going, right? But that's that cellular exercise.
Okay.
Right? Maybe you can dance vigorously for 20-30 minutes. Throw on the music and dance vigorously.
Yeah,
or maybe take a hike and go up and down the mountain. That stimulates the lymphatic system.
Yeah, which is huge. People forget about the lymphatic system.
Most people's lymph is plugged up or sluggish. Yeah, no, we need to stimulate the lymph. We need to exercise every cell internally in our body. That's why cellular exercise is really vitally important.
Yeah.
And most people's missing that one. A lot of people go to the gym and they're missing out on the cellular type work that needs to be done.
Okay.
The next one is cellular nutrition. Cellular nutrition is how do you feed your body from a cellular perspective? How do you get the food to break down and deliver into the cells of the body? How do you do that? You need to digest it. You need to know how to digest. That's where enzymes come in.
Okay.
And even though our food today, even if it's raw organic, is running 30 to 80% enzyme and mineral deficiencies. That's why we need to do that demonstration.
The soil is just not the same. It's just not alive like it used to be.
It isn't. I mean, listen, I have, the soil has been studied, it's been researched, documented. It is running 30 to 80% enzyme and mineral deficiencies.
Right.
But that's organic soil.
Right.
But the thing of it is, I've had a chance to speak to many parts of the world and farmers that grow organic, right? And they all admit the same thing. They're not doing enough composting and feeding the soil adequately. They're not rotating the crops properly. They're not resting the soil every 7 years for 1 year like they're supposed to.
Okay.
You know what I mean? The demand is getting greater for organic produce.
Because I asked somebody for organic and they said, it's still some sort of they still use some chemical with it. So. Right,
so we have to be careful, obviously.
Yeah.
There's chemicals involved and all that, but even if it's just certified organic, it's still running 30 to 80% enzyme and mineral deficiencies. But again, they don't have the manpower, the time, the money to do it correctly. So what's the solution for that? Either do two things. Either find some really powerful enzymes that have been put together, kind of like what we've done, to help compensate for this. So when you're eating food, you can take them, these plant enzymes, to help put life back into the food that was either coming from cooked food or maybe coming from deficient soil.
It's necessary. Otherwise,
it's
you
more
have like a slow digestion forever. But if you have these enzymes, that's really going to elevate
It's going to help enhance the integrity and quality of digesting better,
digestion.
absorbing better, metabolizing better, because that's one of the secrets to the cause of why people suffer today. Everybody that suffers with illness, they all have poor digestion
I was
going
gonna say,
on.
is that why I hear if you have like a cancer patient, I'm just saying, they do give them enzymes. They like, the enzymes are like
I'm personally, here in this conversation, I'm not going to go name any kind of sickness or disease.
Okay.
I'm just going to say this. All sickness, all disease.
Yeah, they were lacking
All
enzymes.
of
I was
them.
reading a study and it
All
was
of
like
them.
enzymes.
All
Is
sickness
that-
and diseases are enzyme deficient people.
Gotcha.
They're not digesting properly. They're not because of that. Because they're not assimilating properly. They're not metabolizing properly, and they're definitely not eliminating properly. So they're very enzyme deficient for sure.
Can we see what enzymes do? Can
Let's
we
do
just
it.
get
You ready?
transition into that? So we're going to show you what actual enzymes are capable of and why they're so vital
And
for
they're not all,
life.
unfortunately, they're not all the same.
They're not all the
You've got
same.
animal-based enzymes, you've got plant enzymes, but these plant enzymes that we're working with are like no fillers. We're using like a broad spectrum of enzymes for one, like LIYFZYME as an example, but we're using no fillers. And everybody else out there is using synthetic cofactors for the enzymes to work in the body. We're not doing that. We're using whole food cofactors, which makes it superior.
High quality, and you don't do fillers. Every time I've seen enzymes, there's fillers, and I'm so picky. Even with my clients as a Choose Fast coach, if I'm going to use something, this is the only reason why I'm bringing this up. It's got to be good, otherwise it can be worse.
Yes, I worked with 2 other enzyme companies before, went from nothing to big, both of them. But then when they started compromising and things got challenging with that for me, the standards took a hit, I left both times. I walked away from that, started all over. But I said for the 3rd time, I said, you know what? I went on water for days, and I've asked God to help me form a global company that we could create the superior, best of the best enzymes ever developed in history. No fillers, whole food cofactor. Do the best,
Strong enzymes,
the strongest, the greatest. Same thing with probiotics. Very powerful. That grows in a plant-based medium and all that. But make the best of the best.
Yeah.
And let me be the president, co-founder, creator, guardian of, so I can protect the integrity and the quality of everything we do. And you know what? It came to manifest itself.
That's why I was wanting to do this with you, because I feel it's very important to bring this kind of information to people.
Well, let's do
So let's do it. All right. So